Kenji Todoroki, hero named Endeavor, is a strong and successful hero. Through his unwavering dedication and overpowered fire abilities, he managed to climb his way up to the second greatest hero in Japan. That too at a young age of only 20. He has saved countless lives and fought formidable villains. But at the same time, he's also the person who bought his wife for her quirk, abused his entire family, committed domestic and child abuse. Now this keeps us, the audience, always in a dilemma when talking about Endeavor. And this is no coincidence. If you look through how Hori wrote and developed Endeavor's character, you can notice a very clear pattern. We are never allowed to make up our minds on this character. At times, you may sympathize with him as it seems like he's trying his best to redeem himself. You see him make genuine efforts to patch up with his family and get better even as a hero. But then almost suddenly you are reminded of just how horrible this guy is. That whatever he does now won't kill the trauma that he dumped on his family. And in this video, we will thoroughly explore and discuss this topic in depth as we delve into the dilemma of Endeavor. The first proper introduction we get of Endeavor is in episode 19, and it's a rough first impression to say the least. From his overall jerk personality to straight up telling All Might he made Shoto to defeat him. And if that wasn't enough, we also learn that he had a quirk marriage, in which he bought Rei, his wife's relatives, and only married her for her ice quirk. Then in Shoto's backstory, it is shown how he ruined his childhood. He kept Shoto away from his siblings and didn't let him live his playful years. He forced him to train under him and become strong. Because of the mental trauma Endeavor put Rei through, there comes a point where she starts hating Shoto's left side. It makes her remember more and more of Endeavor, which leads to her burning Shoto's left side. And Endeavor does not let this slide, even though it's literally his fault. He threw Rei away in a hospital with no way of her contacting her kids. In his first appearance, Endeavor was shown as a horrible husband and father, but a great hero and a savior to the people. We jump to season 4 and many things have changed. Endeavor has risen to become the #1 hero, taking All Might's place after his retirement. Consequently, all eyes from the media and the public are now fixed on him. Endeavor starts facing hatred and rejection from people apart from his own family. Even the common people are bitter about him now. But this is where the dilemma begins, because now you see the public is also not happy with him, even though they don't know anything about his family drama. They are just unhappy because Endeavor does not have a grin on his face as he saves people. Then obviously Endeavor vs. High-End takes place and suddenly his character is shown in this complete limelight, like he really is the next All Might. It is his start. And we get moments like these. At this point in the story, you are to put all his past blunders in the background as the focus is on his importance as a hero right now. So even though he had a horrible first impression, by the time season 4 ends, the general opinion of the audience on his character is pretty positive. Then in season 5, we get a lot of inner monologue with Endeavor and general expansion on the Todoroki family plotline. After defeating High-End, Endeavor is now left alone with his thoughts. He thinks a lot about how can he patch up with his family. Now they frequently have dinners together, they talk at least a little bit, and overall they try to go back to normal as a family. But it doesn't matter now, does it? Because what he has done is beyond forgiveness. Shoro at heart can forgive him as a father, but not what he did to his mother. Natsuo is just done with him. He has nothing left in him for Endeavor. Fumi just wants her family back, and Rei, well, she is still in the hospital. Overall, the family is shown making steady progress, but as I said earlier, what Endeavor did is still unforgivable, and he realizes that. As after saving Natsuo from this creepy villain, he says to Endeavor, it will be in a cold hell when he forgives him. And Endeavor replies, he is not looking for forgiveness. He just wants to atone to his family. He knows the damage he has done and now he is just amending the best he can. At this point, the positive portrayal of Endeavor from season 4 is continued. And by that I mean obviously his family still despises him, but we as an audience are led to believe he's doing his best to redeem himself. I genuinely sympathize with him in this season. It's just he knows and acknowledges what he did and now he just wants to repair as much as possible. But then, as we head into the Paranormal Liberation War, a certain character is introduced. Toya Todoroki. Dabi's Dance is one of the best written dramas by Horikoshi. What a reveal it is. So carefully put together that everyone predicted it years before it even happened, and yet how impactful it was. Chapters and chapters of build-up and planning made this perfect stage where all the pieces aligned perfectly. Endeavor, Hawk, Shoto, the entire war, and all of this being live telecasted on television. Everything was just right and the stage was ready for Dabi to dance and for the reveal to have a huge impact on the already beaten down hero society, and more importantly, Endeavor. As Dabi came out as Endeavor's son, his reaction just made sense. Imagine your kid who you assumed was dead has turned into this villain and all of it is your fault. Any hope, faith or belief he had in himself was completely faded away. He is just a broken man who regrets every decision he made. All he has to show for himself is his heroics and nothing else. The glory he wanted to achieve the most has turned into his biggest nightmare. The anger, the blame for every tragedy and setback was directed at a single shattered man. As he said himself, the hero Endeavor is dead. But when it all seemed gloomy and the entire world turned its back on him, his family came to the rescue. They saw him crying and without any shame just apologizing for everything he did. We and even his family start to sympathize with him, seeing a broken man who has no one left for him. But then, almost immediately, in the very next episode, Hori reminds us of what Endeavor truly is. We get an extension of the Todoroki family's past, and the dilemma kicks in again. You're forced to think again about liking or understanding Endeavor as a character. Toya burnt himself only to get acknowledged by his father. He wanted nothing grand, but just acceptance from his father. And Endeavor couldn't do just that. We are reminded of just how much he broke his family. What began as a sympathetic and twisted justification dissolves in the harsh reality of it all. As Dabi said himself, the past never dies. You reap what you sow. Endeavor's journey is filled with moments like these. You see him make constant improvements to his character, but his past without fail always comes back to haunt him. But that is what makes his character so interesting to me. You are never allowed to have a settled opinion of him. It constantly changes and evolves as the series progresses. And this is the dilemma of Endeavor.